Hi there, you guys. I have a list of garden chores to do, and if I can get half of these done, I would be happy. Most of the chores is dividing perennials. I just have a lot of perennials that need to be divided. I also have a lot of shrubs that need to be moved. They were just planted in not ideal locations. I've learned that, and I need to play musical plants. This is the list right here. I need to divide Heuchera. I need to divide my Hellebore. There's a rose in the front that I need to move, and a rose in the rose garden I need to move. I need to move a hydrangea in the front bed, remove lilies from the rose bed because they're planted too deeply in the rose bed and you can never see them bloom. I also need to remove the lilies from the hydrangea standard in the front. They never bloom because they're in too much shade from the canopy of the hydrangea standard. And lastly, I need to plant the lilies that Matt dug from this area actually right here. We did have lilies lining this whole pathway when we had miniature schnauzers. That was totally fine. With Risa, it is not fine. We found that she'd been chomping the lilies and it was giving her the worst diarrhea in the world. So we had to remove all the lilies from this area and we'll move them somewhere where she won't have access to them. And here's all the lilies right here. Matt left a little bit of soil in the pot and just left them in the shade, which is perfect because they don't look like they've wilted at all. And these will be perfect for replanting. They may not bloom this year, but they probably won't anyways because Risa chewed off most of the buds. Before we get to my first task, I just feel like we need to appreciate my blood good Japanese maple. Look how pretty. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. We are here for this Heuchera right here. It is massive. It has been in the ground for 3 years. As you guys can see, it's starting to splay out a little bit. It's definitely time to divide this. I'm probably going to be able to get at least 5 plants out of this, and I think I may be able to get even more. And I absolutely love this Heuchera. It starts off this red with green margin, and then it fades down to green, which I think is really, really neat. I want to divide this and spread it all over this area. Kind of mass plant it. I truly don't think I was recording when I just dug up this Heuchera. Oh my gosh. First off, they're very shallow rooted, so it was super easy to dig out of the ground. Second of all, I made sure when I was digging this Heuchera out, I went about a foot outwards from the actual plant to ensure that I didn't damage the root ball at all. We got it out in one nice big hunk. I'm just recapping because I truly don't think I was recording. Oh my God, that's the first time that's happened to me ever in this channel. 100 videos. Never forgot to hit record. Think I forgot to hit record that time. Dividing Heuchera is normally pretty easily. If you come inside of the plant, you will normally see individual shoots. These are all individual plantlets. And you can normally just rip them apart, literally. They come apart so easily. That's one nice division of Heuchera. If I wanted to, I could easily split this up again, but I'm not going to because I want them to have a bit of instant impact. So I think I'm gonna leave this as one clump, and I'm gonna have to cut off most of the foliage when I plant them because you want this to focus on putting out roots, not putting off leaves or trying to keep these alive. There's no way it's gonna be able to keep leaves alive with just that bit of root. But we're just gonna go ahead and pull this apart and see how many clumps we get. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. I could split this one up, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just gonna leave this as 6. And that's 6 nice size Heuchera plants from that one plant. Now I'm gonna cut off most of the foliage and then we will plant these out. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off most of the big leaves, anything that's mature. You can be pretty aggressive when cutting off the leaves when you're transplanting. It will shoot out a bunch of new ones because it's early in the season. It's springtime, which is the time that you want to be doing this. You want to do this before you start getting really hot temperatures so that these get a chance to establish before it gets too hot and they wilt. I'm just going to clean this up, trim off all the stems, make it nice and tidy. This is what I'm left with right now. And then I'm literally just gonna chop off most of the leaves. I'm gonna leave those new leaves that are coming in, and I'm gonna leave one nice size leaf so that it can still photosynthesize. This is the perfect little heuchera start. And I'll show you one more just for demonstration purposes. Again, I'm gonna take off all of the nice, big, lush growth, which I know it hurts because it's so pretty, but if you leave a lot of leaves on your divisions, they are not gonna be successful because it's just going to be transpiring too much water trying to keep those leaves alive, and there's not gonna be any roots to uptake more water for it, so it will just wilt. That's what I have right here. And then I'm literally just going to chop into it, take off about half, leave just a couple leaves, or 1, 2, maybe 3 leaves, and then the new leaves emerging so that it'll have some new growth very shortly. And that's what I want. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that to the rest of these really fast. And here we are with 6 nicely prepared heuchera plants ready for transplanting. And like I said, I'm literally just going to plop them back into this area, but I'm gonna kind of separate them out a bit, make a drift with them so that we can kind of spread that heuchera foliage out a little bit in this area. And when replanting these, you don't want to plant them too deep. Heucheras are very shallow rooted, so you want to make sure that the crown stays above the soil. Plant them at the same depth that they were at when you dug them up. I seriously think I'm gonna, I don't know if that's gonna make it or not. I tried to divide again. We're just gonna plant it and see. I doubt that one will make it. They already look so cute. We have 7 heuchera from that one heuchera. There's 1, 2, 3. Then it goes 4, 5, 6. And then there's a 7th one tucked in over here underneath the Japanese maple. We have a Big Daddy hosta coming in right there. This is a really, really pretty shade garden. And I absolutely love getting 6 heuchera for free because heuchera are not cheap. You'll minimum spend $15 a plant on a heuchera. So you do the math, that's a pretty big savings right there. Let's go dig up the rows in the front yard and then we'll head to the backyard. Right here at the end of my walkway, we have 2 Vanessa Bell roses flanking the walkway. It was a poor location to begin with because this area is very shady because of our honey locust trees. One died the first season, we got a refund for it. The second one actually lived, but it's just growing from the base. So I need to dig this up, prune this back, and plant this probably in the rose garden somewhere. The Vanessa Bell rose is truly so beautiful. It's a pale yellow rose, super doubled. I really wanted this rose, that's why I have 2 of them. Let's hope that this makes it, and also let's hope that it's easy to get out of the ground because I just pulled up the Olivia Rose Austin rose off camera yesterday. It was so hard to get out of the ground and it was dead. It was like impossible. I had to literally cut roots to get it out. Oh, there's landscape fabric around this. Oh my God, I think I can just pull this up. Yay. That's amazing. Pulled it up. I don't think I sacrificed any roots at all. This looks exactly like what I purchased when I purchased it. So let's go plant this out. Before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and dig up this dead one really quick as well. Maybe I'll be able to pull it straight out of the ground too. Let's see. Yes, that was nothing. It was like rotted at the stem. Perfect. Oh yeah, and before we go to the back, there is one last thing. There's this hydrangea right here. This is a summer crush hydrangea. Never blooms. Gonna dig this up, put it in somewhere where it'll get more sun and see if it'll bloom there for us. This one I know I won't get lucky on. I know I'm gonna have to dig this out because this has been here for probably 2.5, 3 years maybe. So I'm sure it's done some rooting. Oh yeah, this has a bit of a root ball to it. Oh yeah. We're gonna try to keep that as intact as possible. I think I have a spot for the Vanessa Bell Rose. Right in here is where it's gonna go. And then I have to move and dig up this pink. It's a single rose bush. It produces the tiniest little pink flowers, but it's always tucked up underneath here. And as you guys can see, there's a really mature peony. There's the blackberry bush, and then there is another rose right here. So I'm gonna dig this one out. And I think that one is gonna go down here in this little corner right here because I don't want anything to mask this weeping Colorado blue spruce. So I think little nice pink blooms will be pretty right here in this little corner. Oh, so glad I didn't hit a sprinkler line. I was so afraid I was gonna hit a sprinkler line because Matt was like, I think a sprinkler runs right through that area. Yes. Moving this rose has made me nervous for years because it's just planted so close to the other rose right here. I'm like, I don't understand why they were planted so close. Actually, I do, because this bed literally used to end here. I expanded it all the way out here, so I guess he felt cramped for space and just put it off right here beside it. It's like I want to step, but I feel like there's this rose bush right here, and I know that I'm gonna like get thorns on myself if I do. We'll step on this side. Gonna go grab my rose gloves and try to pull this out. Oh my gosh, it's so rooted in. That's all the rose. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's gonna make it because most of the roots are in the ground, but that's one part of it. It looks like it may have been 2 rose shrubs, because there's a whole other part in here. And it's so rooted in. Oh. Yeah, I don't think these are gonna make it, but we'll plant them and see. We'll see. At least they're out of that spot, and I don't have to look at like this tiny rose bush coming up underneath this nice large rose bush that's actually really, really pretty. I'm also gonna go ahead and cut down this rose shrub. Since I took off most of the roots, it cannot support this whole canopy like this. I'm also gonna prune out any dead. Much, much better. Now I can actually focus on growing some roots, hopefully. I'm gonna water these all in, and then we will get to the hydrangea that we're gonna transplant. And I think the Summer Crush hydrangea that I dug up from the front is gonna go in this new bed as the centerpiece for this new bed. I think it'll be nice to kind of hopefully block off this bed just a little bit so that you don't see it when you're coming down the pathway. I love when you have to like go around something to see what's there. So I think we'll try this out. That's how I do it if I want to try to like not make a mess, is I try to aug the hole very slowly to keep the dirt just kind of around it. I move the mulch to the side so that I can reuse it, because this is a freshly mulched bed after all. Let's go ahead and get this on its good side. And then I'm gonna grab some pruners so that we can prune off this dead wood. It's actually kind of a pleasant day today, and it's supposed to rain this afternoon, which is the perfect time to be doing all of this, like transplanting, moving plants around, planting new things, etc. And it is these lilies in the back right here that are the problem. Matt says the large one bloomed, but I didn't even get to notice it because it's literally always in this rose bush. This rose bush grows so much bigger than what it is right now. It'll double the size that it is right now. And by that time, you can't see the lily blooms. So I think I'm going to pull them out with these lilies that I planted for Maxwell. This was his grave. Luckily, you don't have to dig very deeply to plant lilies. So I should be able to just kind of hopefully tuck these in right on top of Maxwell. So curious to see if these lily bulbs come up easily or if this is going to be a big challenge. Oh, I think this is going to be easy. Yay. That was just the shoot. Shoot. There's a bulb. Okay. Little bulblets. Another little bulblet. Another little bulblet. These are coming up easy. Shoot. Shoot. Okay. Yay, even this big one I think is going to come up pretty easily. Yep, that's just a nice clump right there. That's all of them. Yeah. That was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now to plant them in over here. Do I think all of these lilies will live? No. That's why I planted all of them in this area, hoping that maybe half of the ones that I transplanted will make it. But I think that it'll be so pretty seeing lilies behind this bench and from up above in the window. And they won't be smothered out by that big rose bush back there. There's probably about a dozen, maybe 15 lilies right here. Let's hope that they all make it though. Now let's mark off the things on my list that we've done. We've divided the heuchera. We have moved the rose in the front garden, and in the rose garden we moved the hydrangea in the front. We've removed the lilies from the rose bed. We've removed the lilies. We did not remove the lilies from the standard hydrangea. We planted the lilies that Matt and I dug, so we literally only didn't do two things. We have not divided the hellebore or removed the lilies from the standard hydrangea. And honestly, I think this is where we're going to stop today because it's starting to get around 11 o'clock, which is when the sun starts to get really, really high. And it gets to be quite hot. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get these things done real quick. Something about making a list will make you wanna just get everything on the list done. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't feel right unless you get all of those little check marks, not just some of them. The idea when these lilies were planted was that they would poke up through the canopy of the hydrangea. They just never do that. They never get enough sun and then they never bloom. Oh, this is gonna be hard to get out. Oh, there we go. And if I remember right, these are all Casablanca and Pretty Woman lilies. And I wanna say the Pretty Woman lilies are giant. It's either the Pretty Womans are giant or the Casablancas are giant. Let's see if we can just get this out. There we go. And while we were up here, let's go ahead and try to divide this hellebore. Oh yeah, there's quite a few clumps of this hellebore I can definitely divide out. Hellebores normally have to be cut or chopped, so let's get to it. Right in the middle. Yep. Perfect. The first division I didn't really feel very successful about because I got absolutely no roots, but we'll still plant it and hope that it does do its thing. And then this one I think I'm gonna split again. I'm gonna go grab a knife actually, because I really feel like that would help me with this. With the knife, I really feel like I can get up in here because there's definitely probably 3 clumps here. I divided it at least into 2 really good clumps. The rest of them don't really have many roots on them. They just kind of like shed off the plant. But I'm gonna go ahead and plant these anyways because I'm just gonna water these in deeply in hopes that they will root. And that just made the most gorgeous drift of hellebores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna make sure to water these in deeply and hope that they make it because that is absolutely stunning. I already have a couple lily bulbs in this walkway. I think I'm just gonna zip those lilies, the Casablanca and the Pretty Woman in this area over here. And I'm just gonna use the big attachment because that's what's already attached. And I'm just gonna mass plant them in large holes. Yeah, that actually looks good. A nice mass of lilies now. It doesn't even look like I just dug 2 holes. Looks like I dug several holes and just kind of zipped them in. It looks really, really good. Now I'm gonna water those in and I think that that's the final thing to do. And this hose is busted, or at least the handle is. And let's do it together. Divide hellebore, remove lilies from standard hydrangea, all checked off. I have got to start making lists more often because it was so gratifying getting everything on that list done, and I feel like I worked way harder than I would have without the list. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've divided anything. What have you divided this spring? Because it's the perfect time to start dividing your perennials and spreading them around your garden to save some money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around for whatever video I come up with for next time. Bye, guys.